Your trauma is a turnoff. That's something that someone I loved once said to me. And what I want to talk about is that sentence, not to shame him, but because if you're neurodivergent, you might recognize what was actually happening there. 7 or 8 months ago, I was in a relationship where I was fighting to be seen in a way that just was not possible. At the time, I didn't know that I was neurodivergent. I didn't understand masking. I didn't understand that my nervous system was constantly in survival mode. What I knew was that every time I had a feeling or needed reassurance or expressed overwhelm, the person I was with would shut down, pull away, or tell me I was too much. So I did what a lot of neurodivergent people do. I tried harder. I became perfect. I overgave. I overfunctioned. I kept myself smaller so the relationship could keep going. Last year at this time, we were trying to come back together after a really painful rupture. I had just spent Christmas with his family. I was cooking, planning, traveling, organizing my life around him. And at the same time, my body was breaking down. I had what felt like a heart attack, which I now understand was a nervous system event. I had phantom pain from an old emergency surgery. The pain was real, but it was coming back from stored trauma and stress, and my body was just screaming. And I did not yet have the language to understand why. What ultimately ended the relationship was me finally saying, I am overwhelmed. I'm drowning. And instead of support, I was met with an argument about my tone, semantics, and then abandonment in the middle of a medical crisis on a night that mattered deeply to me. I was left. And when we broke up, he told me my trauma was a turnoff. And now I understand. The relationship didn't end because of my trauma. It ended because of his own unexamined trauma that could not tolerate emotion, vulnerability, or more. That's what unrecognized neurodivergence can look like in a relationship. You keep masking, you keep pushing through, you keep telling yourself that if you regulate better, explain better, love better, it will finally work. And meanwhile, your whole body is shutting down because it knows something is wrong. In the months since, everything has changed. I've learned how my nervous system works. I've learned how to pause instead of panic, how to regulate instead of collapse. I built a life that actually supports me. My health is stable. I feel safe in my own body again. And with that clarity, I can say this without anger or blame. That relationship was never meant to be a healthy partnership. It was the catalyst that woke me up. If someone tells you that your trauma is a turnoff, hear this clearly. That is not a diagnosis of you. That's a confession of them. And sometimes the relationship that hurts you the most is the one that finally teaches you how to choose yourself.